This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
What's going on, guys? This is VinylicPuma, and today I'm back with yet another Borderlands 2 video for you guys. Now, unlike I usually do, I'm not going to be including any weapons from the pre-sequel simply because grenade damage bonuses were significantly cut back in the pre-sequel. Why the developers of the pre-sequel made this change, I have no idea. Now, today I'm going to be going over guns and weapons that get improved damage from not just percentage-based gun or critical hit damage buffs, but also grenade damage buffs as well. Now, this list could have been a little longer as certain manufacturers have entire lines of non-unique weapons that are affected this way. So, for example, guns from Torg and the reload portion of many TDR weapons fit in this particular count. So without further ado, these will be the top 9 best grenade damage bonus guns and weapons in Borderlands 2. Really, guys, it feels weird not to say the pre-sequel for once. Number 9, the Volcano. So the Volcano and Storm sniper rifles by Maliwan are really the only weapons that benefit from grenade damage bonus. I think it's safe to say that it's not really a big secret, but the Storm is a terrible weapon, while the Volcano is actually a pretty decent sniper rifle on Axton the Commando. Provided you're using an expert Grenadier class mod and you've spec'd into the proper skills, you can get the Volcano sniper rifle's damage to surpass that of the Maliwan sniper rifle, which is considered by many in the community to be the best sniper by Maliwan. Unfortunately, mostly because of the name, the Volcano can't come in other elements like shock or corrosive, which does limit its usefulness as an all-around, all-purpose sniper rifle for all characters. That said, if you like Axton or want to know what his best sniper rifle is, I would say that the Volcano is probably it. Number 8, the Hornet. The Hornet is a corrosive-only dual pistol that has great recoil and really high burst count. And like all of the other weapons on this particular list, it benefits from grenade damage bonus from skills, class mod, and possibly even relics. It's also worth mentioning that your badass rank, it can benefit from grenade damage bonus, percentage-based ones from that as well. Now, while this isn't a weapon I like to use all the time, the Hornet is a great pistol to use up against a lot of armored enemies like armored psychos and loader bots. Now, unfortunately, like the Volcano, the Hornet only comes in corrosive and would be a better weapon if it came in multiple elements. Fire, shock, and maybe even a slag version could be interesting to see, and maybe even a cryo version would be pretty crazy to use if you could combine that in some way with slag. Overall, great gun, and pick one up if you're interested. Number 7, ETech SMGs. Okay, so I need to go ahead and say this before we continue. It appears that all ETech SMGs can benefit from grenade damage bonus, however, for whatever reason, Bandit ETech SMGs don't. I don't know why. They should. It's weird that they don't. Otherwise, though, this is great news and gives you a lot of variety. Maliwan plasma casters have high damage over time chance, Hyperion casters get more accurate as you fire, and Doll versions have low recoil and fire in a burst if you like that. In my personal opinion, I think I prefer the Hyperion versions because you gain accuracy as you shoot, which is really the best effect in my opinion. And if you're going to be hip firing all of the time, you are going to want the Hyperion versions. Keep in mind that this also goes for the unique variants like your Florentine and your Yellow Jacket SMGs as well, so that's pretty cool, and definitely get an ETech SMG, just avoid the Bandit ones if you want that grenade damage bonus. Number 6, the Hellfire. You know, I like the Hellfire. While it's not an extremely special weapon, it's a great fire-only SMG from Maliwan that also benefits from grenade damage bonus. Like I've said with previous weapons like the Volcano Sniper and the Hornet pistol, it is a shame that the Hellfire doesn't come in multiple elements like shock, corrosive, or slag versions. I do get it's mostly because of the name, but seeing different versions under different names and maybe with different red text would have been really cool. Fun fact, but if you remove the element from the Hellfire, you'll get 2 damage numbers that appear. One for explosive type damage and the other for non-elemental type damage. This will be the closest we will get to an explosive SMG until Borderlands 3 comes out sometime in the next 3 years. Number 5, the Sword Splosion. So the Sword Splosion was really one of the cooler weapons that got added with the Dragon Keep DLC for Borderlands 2. It's the only ETech Torg weapon that is official. Now, you can use some things with like Cheat Engine, and you can get some of those guns to appear in the game, and they're pretty cool, but this is the only legit ETech Torg weapon. And instead of shooting a plasma-like substance, you shoot swords which hit objects and then explode into more swords. And this is a pretty cool weapon for that reason alone. Otherwise, it's a great shotgun with high damage, and it has a pearlescent sister weapon called the Carnage, which isn't quite as good, despite having a higher total damage number. I suppose it's worth mentioning that the Carnage doesn't benefit from grenade damage bonus, which also hurts it, while of course the Sword Splosion does. If you have the Dragon Keep DLC, pick this gun up if you have the chance. Number 4, the Twister. So this was a bit of a surprise to me, but apparently the Twister also receives a damage boost from grenade damage bonus. This is kind of weird considering that the only other remotely explosive weapon from Jacobs is the Cobra Sniper Rifle, which doesn't get a bonus from grenade damage bonus. I suppose there's also those Torg Assault Rifle barreled grenade launchers from Jacobs, which despite firing grenades, for whatever reason, they also don't get grenade damage bonuses. Which is really bizarre. Now, regardless, this particular trait on the Twister is awesome and has made me consider adding it to my arsenal of weapons for Axe and the Commando. Otherwise, the Twister is a phenomenal shotgun for a lot of different characters, and a lot of Gauge players in particular like it for its consistent and controllable projectile pattern as well. If you've watched a lot of my previous videos recently, I think you'll know that you want a Twister shotgun by now, so go get one if you haven't gotten one already. Number 3, the Hale. The Hale is one of my favorite weapons from both Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. While Borderlands 2 players on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 may have a hard time using it due to the low field of view, PC, PS4, and Xbox One users will have a much easier time using it thanks to the addition of a field of view slider on those versions of the game. Now, the Hale is really a freakishly good weapon. Unlike most assault rifles, it has great critical hit modifiers, it can come in all elements, and it benefits from grenade damage bonus. It's also worth mentioning that the Hale assault rifle also can fire an additional unlisted projectile that gets full amp damage from the B shield. I almost forgot, but since it's a Moxie weapon, you also get healed for a percentage of the damage you deal, which is really an insane combination of characteristics that really puts the Hale over a lot of other assault rifles from Borderlands 2. Now, honestly, you really can't go wrong with this gun in my opinion, especially on Axe and the Commando, or whatever character you ultimately decide to play with. Number 2, the unkempt Herald. So I mentioned this earlier in the video that most Torg weapons, whether they are unique or non-unique, can benefit from grenade damage bonus. This includes weapons like the Ravager shotgun, the Ogre assault rifle, and of course the very holy grail of Torg weaponry, the double penetrating unkempt Herald pistol. Not very many other weapons from Borderlands 2, let alone the pre-sequel, can come close to just like the raw power that the unkempt Herald is capable of. When else do you have a gun that fires literally 14 projectiles of death that pretty much eviscerate whatever it is in front of you? Honestly, it's great. Get an unkempt Herald, and if you can, really try to go for that double penetrating version if possible. And finally, number 1, the Babymaker. I am a massive fan of TDR reloads in Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. Of all of the TDR reload weapons, I think that the Babymaker is my personal favorite. While other TDR weapons like the Gunnerang and the Avenger can potentially be more powerful, the Babymaker provides the player with the highest possible reload damage at the best ammo consumption. It's also worth mentioning that the reload is pretty easy to control, where the Gunnerang is kind of chance, and the Avenger is like performing this crazy super move, which it's tough. Now, it's also worth mentioning that the vast majority of TDR weapons' reload damage benefits from the grenade damage bonus you can get from certain skills or from certain class mods and even your badass rank. The only line of weapons that don't get this bonus are TDR rocket launchers, which in my personal opinion isn't really a big deal, as most launchers like the Bunny are pretty terrible. Overall, the Babymaker is definitely my favorite grenade damage bonus weapon from Borderlands 2. Anyway guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care and I'll see y'all next time.